Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to one of those vistas that we so often see here in Paradise Killer that we would so rarely see anywhere else. I mean, you have to admire this game's commitment to the thing that it's doing. I really do. So, I discovered a couple of things, a couple of very important things. One of them maybe more important than the others, but the others are what we're going to look at first. Because, hey, remember this area? And I was like, oh, I don't even know what's going on here. I guess we'll come back later. Well, I forgot to do that, but now we're back, now it's later, and we gotta figure out what to do with this thing. So, first of all, before we go messing with this weird boat and this weird crane game thing that's going on, there is something waiting for us. You can probably hear it already. Is that a bloodstain? I don't know what that is. But there's definitely an item inside of this building. So I figured out the door is over here. You gotta crawl over through this thing. And boy, it sure does look like there's blood running along the ground. And here we have some kind of thing, and it's got like a real icon. This is gonna be like a real item. Perhaps a crane system unlock card. You know, that unlocks the crane system on the harbor. That seems important. I did a quick once-over of this whole dock area, and it seems like that's the only thing. So I'm assuming what looks like a trail of blood is here to lead you to that place. If you have not yet, when you arrive here, figured out that that sound tells you there's an item nearby, you know, which was the case for us. So I guess put this thing in here, and then yeah, we get this boat over here, and we do something with the crane, but I don't know what exactly. I wonder if there's anything in all this cargo. Gee, I guess let's find out. So, we got a bunch of interactables over here. What does this do?
Sure.
Okay. Figure out the right combination of switches so the crane will empty the boat. Okay, so I'm setting instructions with these, and then that's the execute button. Well, okay, I guess let's see what they do. Okay, so that's a rotate.
The investigator is here.
That's definitely not a winner. We do not need it to do that. What does this one do? I really wish that thing would stop. Okay, that's good. That's one we need.
The investigator is here.
That seems like a winner. Let's just see all of them in isolation first.
Got it.
So it seems like that maybe just slows down the part where the claw goes outward. One of these has got to make it actually grab, right? Like lean down and actually try to pick a thing up. Okay, that also affects the movement speed. Thank you, Lady Love Dies. And there's the grabber. Okay, so we're gonna need some combination of...
Sure.
We need some combination of 5 and 2, and then one of these two speed effectors. Hey, that's looking like a win. I'm not allowed to move yet, by the way. That did, in fact, move the crates. I did it. Is there anything in all these crates? Not so much, actually. What about in the boat? Aha. What are you? You're a space helmet! What's a space helmet doing here? Looks like it's been dumped. Or hidden. Dumping and hiding are separated by a thin line. Yeah, I guess so. Oh, it smells of Lydia's perfume. Lemon and raspberry. Hey, you know what you should not do when committing a huge crime? Is make sure to wear your signature scent. Why has she been wearing a space helmet? Well, you need a space helmet to help get through the second seal.
Test me.
So, okay. That would mean that it would have been Lydia who moved the box into the council chamber, not Witness. So maybe she knew the whole thing. Like, one thing that's not super clear to us as we unravel these conspiracies is exactly who knew what and when. It may still be the case that Lydia didn't exactly know what Witness was having her move in, but if she was the one actually doing the placing of the box, she had to know what the general design was, right? Like, this implicates her on a deeper level, in my opinion, than the information we had before. Although it does mean why did she write down the obelisk thing and then scratch it out on the cliff above the beach if she was the one who was going to put the code in anyway? I don't know. That is questionable. Alright, one more thing. The other thing, the important thing that I discovered, and we're just going to not say a word to Lydia about the thing that we just figured out, is over here at the dead zone. I guess the smart thing to do would be to go to the ziggurat? So I discovered this when I was trying to figure out if I was taking a quick look at the AR view to see if we had generated any new lines of text, and obviously we can ask Lydia about the thing we discovered. When I realized that I wasn't 100% sure what that symbol was. Why is there a syndicate symbol over there? It's the only one, and what? So I decided to go over and investigate, and it turns out, spoilers for where we're going to be in a second here, it turns out it's a nightmare computer that we didn't use, or that I intended to use and never came back for, I'm sure. Because I know we were up here in this place where it is, so I'm assuming we saw it. I will say that I think this is kind of... It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, for there to be a nightmare computer visible on the AR scan and have it not show up on the meditate scan. Because, like, this is where the people are, is sort of how it works in my brain. And a computer is not a people, but also this is where it puts KHX's dead body. I mean, that's at least the body of a person. But anyway, see if she says the same thing. Okay, she didn't give us the dialogue this time. I got it off camera, unfortunately. When interacting with this thing, Lady Love Dies said, "Hey, if I interacted with this nightmare computer, it would vent the dead zone, and that would make the marshals freak out because they'd be worried about demonic corruption, and they might all run out of the barracks." And I presume she's right about that. You know, usually characters in video games don't say things like that if they're not actually correct. So I think this is going to be what gets us into the barracks. Again, I would just like to underline that I think it's a little silly that this only shows up in that one view, but whatever, it's fine. If we found this earlier, I mean, it must have been, like, way earlier, right? And I definitely just did not have the pyramid module at that time. Okay, well, that's just screams. That's just gaseous screaming coming out of there. The valve is venting the gas from the corrupted zone below. It should set off the demonic detection systems. I'm sure the marshals will be running out of the barracks any moment now, which means I should not be here anymore. That would be a good idea to be elsewhere. So in terms of exploring the barracks, I don't think that we actually are expecting to get much out of this. Like, we already basically know what the plan is and everything, right? The value of this, more than anything, is just so that Lady Love Dies has caught up with where we... Huh, that's a Shinji. So that Lady Love Dies will catch up with where we, the player, already are. Hey man, what's going on? Oh, you're in it neck deep, up to your eyes in crime. On a battlefield with psychos and criminals. Well, that's my job. And you're just cool with that?
Sure.
Well, you can't investigate if there aren't crimes. Everybody knows that. So what you're saying is you never want to wipe out crime because then you'll have nothing to do. Well, that's one way of looking at it. When you put it that way, yes, I do have motive. That's the only way, if you ask me. Well, fortunately I didn't. And also, never would. And also, this is another one of those citizen recordings? I'm gonna find out what's going on. This isn't right. The island feels wrong. I'm gonna blow this wide open. The Syndicate. The Syndicate. The Syndicate! This island feels wrong. Did I mention? Did I might have forgotten to say that the island feels wrong, but definitely the island feels wrong. What is the fastest way? I guess the fastest way back up there would actually probably be to just go around the front of this thing, right? Can I walk up this? Yeah. And we'll just climb that big ladder. Or, actually, this totally might work. Oh, by the way, I didn't bother to catch it on camera because I knew it wasn't going to be a big deal, and it turned out I was right, but I did find the place to put that last blue seal, And I did, in fact, get a single blood crystal for the trouble. So, are the marshals all... I mean, it looks empty. I will say that feels a little arbitrary, and it especially feels weird that all of the marshals would go. But okay, I'll take it. Let's figure out what's going on in here. So we just need to find hard proof of stuff so that we can potentially bring it up to judge, right? This stuff, I'm so good at hacking. This game's teaching us valuable life skills. This guy, and then the 3-moon wolf. It's a rare variation. So what have we here? It's a door that leads to another door. I knew it. The Barracks server room. An encrypted file in a suspicious-looking folder that is outside the main marshal files. Starlight can crack the security on this. And I guess we'll do that when we get out of here, maybe? And here we have some records about prisoner transfers that stand out. Akiko removed 2 prisoners that are unaccounted for a day before the murder. Okay, well, it's pretty clear what's going on with that, right? Alright, Starlight got me into the servers. If Akiko finds out, I'm not sure how long my head will stay on my shoulders. Listen, she's always trying to murder me. I don't know why she would be successful now. This file is encrypted and outside of the normal folder structure.
Sorry.
It's a photo of a strangled woman.
I have a bad feeling about this.
My job is a never-ending joy. The metadata says this came from a folder called Grace Bloodlines Examination, right? That makes sense.
Ooh,
I'll hang on to this.
investigator is here.
And here we have prisoner transfer records as well as the desolation cell. There's a prison within these barracks for the non-demon possessed prisoners. Looks like Akiko removed 2 of them 2 days ago. There's no record of them being brought back to the prison.
That's weird.
No, you don't want... You know damn well exactly why Akiko would have removed prisoners. It is a little embarrassing for Love Dies that she is so much worse at this job than we are. It does sort of break the fiction of the universe, right? Is there anything else going on in here? I mean, it is quite a large area, actually. I guess we should probably meditate while we're in here, but I'm pretty sure that there are no hearts. Never mind, there totally is one. I was going to say, because we would have seen them from outside, right? But I guess maybe I've never actually looked into the prison this way. I'm not just going to jump straight down there. We're gonna traverse this in a semi-methodical fashion. Wow, this is a big area, even bigger than I was thinking. Also, boy, there's just not a lot of hearts left in general, huh? I am really cleaning the island out. I wonder if it is the case that... No, it must be true that blood crystals respawn. Because we definitely went down the beach and looted a bunch and then came back later and there were crystals in those same locations, right? And, like, also, if blood crystals didn't respawn, it would be possible for you to spend all your crystals before buying, like, the thing from Acid, and... Like, you could actually get stuck if the crystals didn't respawn. Well, we know what that is. Let's just go ahead and pay our respects a little bit, I guess. But maybe once you bought a certain number of things, or maybe once you have all of the things you might actually need and all the movement upgrades, then the crystals stop respawning or something, because it definitely does seem like we are clearing out the island, like, permanently now. So this is a carving detailing the god New Knight, a humanoid with 2 dog heads, a warrior clad in gold armor, carries a spear, sword, and shield, based her forces in Romania. One of these sentences is unlike the others. And there's just a lot of blades and stuff sitting around here. What are you? Marshal Quarters, Mess Hall, and Training Hall. My blood vial hasn't been authorized for this door. Okay, and that's not a separate interactable. You could let me move forward after jumping a little bit. Come on now. New Knight, the Holy Warrior, the Slaughterer of the Chained Star System. New Knight is an arrogant goddess that only deems soldiers worthy of her attention. The Syndicate got superstitious after any statues of her outside of martial grounds were destroyed by red lightning on the 5th island. Yeah, okay, I can see why. Honestly, I might even go so far as to say that's not superstition. Since then, there has only ever been one statue of her on each island. Henry says he remembers seeing New Night last night.
Weird.
Did he come past this statue?
Investigator is here.
If he did, it means he came through the barracks. This is the only one on the island, like I just said. She's talking like even she isn't capable of following the very simple things she's saying. Again, a little disruptive to the fiction. That means Henry took a different route to the council building. Yes, we know.
Strange.
Which route did he actually take? Well, you just said... Boy, I wish she had been listening to herself moments ago. This is a weird thing, huh? Alright, what else do we have around here? These are just crates of weapons and ammo, I guess. Doesn't look like anything meaningful for our purposes. This is reminding me of some of the stages in Umurangi Generation a little bit. Okay, so that's the big front door. I don't know how opening these helps us, and I'm assuming I won't be able to go out here. Yeah. Alright, so where was that heart? We should be on the level that heart was on now, right? Or did I get it already? Oh, it was that shrine, right. The shrines have interaction symbols. Well, then I guess we're basically done here. This door leads to the barracks. It's a secure tunnel to the desolation cell. It is coded only to Akiko's blood vial. Okay, so this is that door over there. Well, that being the case, then it seems like we've got everything we're going to get here, right? Yeah, I guess it needs to be this big to make spatial sense outside. The armory and combat halls. Yeah, given where we've seen the doors and everything. Okay, so I guess the only thing for us is to go back up top. Well, I mean, this certainly answers some questions. Or rather, those questions were already answered, but it does potentially catch Lady Love Dies up on the answers that we already knew. Man, it does feel like, I don't know, it feels like there should be something else though, right? I was expecting her to put things together a little bit more, and the fact that she's not, the fact that even after seeing the statue of New Night, she's like, oh, but what does that mean? Could Henry have not taken the path that Akiko said he took? Makes me wonder if we're still missing something, some piece that we're going to have before Love Dies. We'll put together the information that we clearly know. And we do need her to get it. Since I don't get to pick what we say, she has to be following along. Alright, well the prisoner transfer information it's not hard proof, but it's certainly strong. I'm a little curious about that picture of Grace bloodlines, though. What did that do for us? Looking closely, you see the bruising around her throat. The marks aren't uniform. There is an area of more pressure. Well, yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not a crime scene expert or anything, but that's how strangulation works. Right? Right? Am I not? Okay. Let's see. Right, we picked up new information about the space helmet. Just trying to make sure that we're all caught up here. Yep, this whole thing certainly happened. We know a lot more about the crime to end all crimes. We got more information from the drag marks, despite having investigated them before. It must be the case that there were like 2 investigation spots along the drag marks. So presumably we can now go back and question Akiko again, right? I will say, like, it's a little bit weird for Love Dies to be like, gee, why would she transfer prisoners? But then to enter it into the Who Killed the Holy Seal Marshals part of Starlight, like, obviously she knows what's going on. But she's playing dumb with us, people who are not present, inside of her own head. Alright, so we know... I mean, yes. What kind of question is this? The only way that's a sensible question to ask is if we think somebody else got some flesh from Crying Grudge without him noticing somehow, and then was able to fuse it to a thing. It's still not even clear to me how she did the fusing, but everybody here has all kinds of magic powers, and doesn't actually look like there's a lot of new information here. That's right, we know Carmelina is throwing... So Carmelina must have expected... She probably expected Witness's plan to fail. So he was sort of like... She was allowing his plan to run, and probably she was part of his plan, because again, the barracks, the bunker in the dead zone. I know everybody's story is, oh, well, we used to go there before we were conspirators, and she hasn't been there since, but that's nonsense. And now she's willing to give him up because she thinks it doesn't implicate her plan at all. She thinks she can just throw him under the bus and that will remove all suspicion. Well, I guess let's go and ask these questions then. I need a medical opinion on this photo. I can't make anything out here. Okay. If the marshals were body swapped, the bodies must have come from somewhere close by. I mean, we know where they came from. It's weird that this didn't get... I wonder if I was supposed to interact with that weird little closet with the human waste in it in some way. Again, like, some way that would make Lady Love Dies put together the information that we, the player, definitely already put together. This is the thing that's always really frustrating about, like, investigation-type games, where, like, situations like this where you plainly have all the information, but your character is playing dumb because you haven't hit some very specific weird trigger. Let's just make sure we didn't miss anything up there. And the thing is, if we're missing some very specific weird trigger, you know, it's gonna be an issue when we actually try to do the trial thing.
The investigator is
she
here.
gonna... Okay, there we go. Were they in this shed? Did that put it together? It looks like maybe not. We didn't get a note. No, we didn't get a note. Maybe there's another piece of evidence somewhere nearby. Like I need to find a thing somewhere that indicates that these are the same bodies. So yeah, they could have dragged him up over here, thrown him over the edge like this, and then it's actually a pretty short move from here to the crime scene. If I investigate the bodies again, I wonder if I'll have the ability to compare them to the prisoners.
Scene investigation.
Anything? No, nothing. Well, okay. Maybe we'll have to talk to Akiko and accuse her before Love Dies will put it together.
Sure.
Okay, let's do that, I suppose. Or you know what? Maybe we should go talk to Doom Jazz first, because whatever information we get off of the photograph is probably something we're gonna have to talk to Akiko about anyway, right? So the yacht, and don't worry, Lydia, your turn's coming. We'll get to you. Yeah, sure, let's hang out. Can you feel it in the air? You've been spraying pheromones again?
The island is about to end.
No, the island's about to end. This may be the last time we talk before you and Judge determine who's guilty. Yes, it in fact may. Sad to see the island die?
How?
Well, I'm more worried about Perfect 25. A new island allowed us to have a new start, make some changes. It's healthy to have a change of scenery. Frees the mind.
Theoretically?
But if 25 is perfect, then there's no more new starts. Not worrying about demonic invasions will take a load off the mind, though. I would imagine that would lower stress. But what if the island's built on bad foundations? Ah, don't worry your pretty little head, Doc. I'm here to breathe life back into paradise. Hey, I managed to not proposition you this time as well. You don't get points for it if you point it out, though. Well, the answer you wanted was never going to happen. Not this island. Not after gestures vaguely. Everything. Mass murder does spoil the mood, doesn't it? What we did in the past stays in the past, Doc. Alright, enough chatter.
Favorite investigator.
Enough of saying the same things over and over and over again. Alright, I gotta ask you about this photograph. Hey, what do you know about a photo taken of Grace's throat during your examination? Well, I took photos, but they were confiscated by Akiko. Classified or whatever. That's weird. Doesn't he think that's weird? You know, I found one on the Marshal's server for some reason. Can I get your opinion on it? The bruising on the throat looks odd.
Strange.
Ooh, that's because the fingers that did it aren't uniform. In normal strangulation bruising, you can see areas of pressure from the fingertips and the knuckles. The pressure on these is misaligned. This is normally because the attacker is wearing jewelry. Specifically, in this case, a ring on their wedding ring finger. Listen, all of the sounds were in there, they just weren't in the right order. What about power armor? No, the gauntlets on Marshall's power armor are gloves with armor plates on top of the hands. So, who wears a wedding ring? Or wore a wedding ring? I mean, this was 10 years ago. When were... Witness and Carmelina were married, right? It wasn't just a relationship? I can't remember when they split up or whether it was a marriage. Alright, well, let's go press Akiko about this other stuff. It turns out that was not actually relevant to our concerns with Akiko. Trying to think, who else around here is married? I mean, obviously Lydia and Sam, but we have no reason to think that Lydia or Sam would have been present, right? I mean, if it was Carmelina, because Carmelina was there. If it was Carmelina, then that means she's responsible for the possession part of this too. That maybe makes the entirety of both plans realistically her idea. Also, out of curiosity, okay, we do have stuff to talk to you about as well. Let's do that first. I think it is more likely that he will say something relevant to talking to Akiko than the other way around. Did you go through the barracks last night? Why are you asking? Well, the only statue of New Knight is in the barracks. Well, I guess I did then. Good investigating. You nailed it. Any fucking idea how that happened? What everyone's saying about what you did last night might be wrong. Here, 16 hours into the investigation, Lady Love Dies finally starts to think, this is a little suspicious, maybe. Oh, some excitement, finally. Okay, well that was not useful. Hey you, I have some questions. Would you like to threaten my life now, or you want to do it later? I mean, we may as well just get it out of the way, right? Hey, what happened with those prisoners you removed from the barracks prison? That's classified.
Dies. All that remains are the facts.
I disagree. I do not think it's classified. Why were they removed? I'm allowed to just decide whether or not things are classified. I don't know if you knew that. Investigator, they were being processed before the slaughter ritual. We don't just open the prison gates and let them wander over to the temple. But they were removed before the slaughter ritual. So what happened to them? They were processed, then returned to their cells.
Like this.
Huh. The logs don't show them being returned. You don't have access to the full Marshal network, so you can't prove that. You also don't get to question how I run my army. Okay, well, I mean, she's not, like, super wrong there. Say, why did you confiscate the photo of Grace Bloodlines' neck from Doom Jazz after the examination? And then just for some reason leave it on the desktop of the computer in the barracks. She was murdered by someone possessed by a demon. Anything related to demonic possession is classified. Is that standard procedure, or just for evidence that doesn't tie into the official story?
Kill you.
Standard procedure. She actually answered that question. You think you're really smart and clever with your snide insinuations, but you're not. You're wrong. It's a real Derek Zoolander level comeback there. Alright, well, I keep expecting, I keep hoping that we're going to come to people with evidence of their crimes and they're going to break and confess, because that's how it would happen on Columbo. But this isn't really that kind of thing. So hold on, who else do I have the ability to question here? I'm sure that's going to put up some dialogue with somebody. I mean, obviously Lydia, but no, actually it hasn't put up anything else with anybody. I guess we kind of can't see the top of Carmelina's thing, but we'll go talk to Lydia. And then I need to look through the evidence and put together the timeline on when Carmelina and Witness were married, question mark? I think they were married. So let's see. If we take the... Sorry, isn't there a sewer... you know what? The pier should be fine. Yes. Hold on a second. Was this Marshall always here? What's your deal?
The dead zone is leaking demonic gas.
Ah.
The purifying system seems to have failed.
Okay, so he's just here to yell at me about that. Whatever, that's fine. So we're going to ask Lydia a thing here, and she's not going to give us any information, I'm assuming. You know, I guess we could just hang out first. Once again, let's just get in your car that you could use to disappear me at any moment. Say, how are things with you and Sam? Same as it ever was. That's a good thing, by the way. We're happy together. I mean, yeah. Glad to hear it. You two always were the perfect couple. That's true. A lady and a skeleton. Say, why'd you ask? Well, not many people experience a relationship with the burden of immortality. You have to be thoughtful and considerate. The most important thing is being relaxed. Eternity's a long time. Statistically, you're both going to make mistakes and hurt each other. That can't be helped. On the other hand, you have forever to patch it up and make it right. What about you? You looking to get back in the dating game? Well, it's hard when the dating pool is so small and everyone in it is a murderer. Do a doom jazz and get some citizen hookups going on. Fresh crop on the next island. Speaking of which, you could always swing by DJ's yacht again. No, I think we've established that was a long time ago. And this is a fresh start? It just feels weird. Everyone lived a life, but I've been trapped in a moment. It's a lot to think about. I get you, LD. You'll get there. Solve this thing and start in a new paradise. This has been fun. I'll drop you at the beach. Well, we're not actually done talking, but yeah, let's get out of your car before I do the thing.
Come on, LD.
Oh, she does have another probe for us.
The island feels bad, LD.
We're tight, right, LD? I can tell you something, right? I mean, everything's on the record, obviously, but I'll use some discretion. Me and Sammy didn't kill the council. But we aren't happy.
Come on, LD.
We want out. The council wouldn't let us leave, though.
What the hell?
What does out mean in this? Like, where would they go? What do you mean? Me and Sammy are done with this life. These small islands, immortality, waking the gods.
Complicated.
I want to travel the world, the real world. Sammy wants to make whiskey with any ingredient, not just what Dead Nebula grows.
What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, very inappropriate voice lines considering what's going on in the text. But Montserrat and the council said no. Once you're in the syndicate, you're in the syndicate.
Complicated.
I'm telling you because other people know and they'll spread the secret. But killing them wouldn't help us. The next leader wouldn't let us get out either. Still, I mean, like, that's obviously motive. That's interesting that she says she's telling us because she's worried somebody else would tell us anyway. Because, obviously, it hasn't come up, right? I don't think anybody has said that to us. Say, do you often like to dress up in space helmets? What are you talking about, LD?
Sure.
I found a space helmet that smells like your perfume. A space helmet? Gee, well, why is that on the island? Well, you do need one to get through the second holy seal. Did you use it to go through the seal? I've never seen a space helmet, never mind wore one.
And the truth are not
Then
the
why does
same.
it smell of your perfume?
Complicated.
No idea, LD. Someone planted it as evidence? But you said your perfume is a unique blend only you know the recipe for. How could someone else have planted it? Sorry, I can't help you, LD. So, I mean, it's not impossible, I suppose, that, like... I don't know. Do we think it would have been Witness? If she were telling the truth about that, and to be clear, I don't think she is. And even if she were telling the truth about it, it wouldn't matter because the car was used to, you know... How would somebody do that, right? It would basically have to have been Witness or Carmelina, and it wouldn't matter anyway because we know Lydia was on the roof helping to get the box into the place anyway, so yeah. Doomjazz thinks it's from a wedding ring. Carmelina used to wear a wedding ring when she was married to Witness, and they split 9 years ago. Okay, thank you, Love Dies / Starlight, for remembering the details for me, because that's the part I'm real bad at. See, we make an okay team, I guess. So yeah, it was Carmelina then. Akiko claims that were processed and returned to their cells, but there's no record of that. Okay, so... honestly... that being the case, I think I feel pretty confident that we know what happened everywhere, right? We're allowed to talk to Carmelina and Sam, and again, because there's no gameplay in the investigation part of this, we should. We should always do every chat we have the ability to do. This is a weird little area. Huh. There was like a heart or two left as well, right? We should definitely get all the things. We're so close. In fact, is that the only one? I think that is literally the only heart left. Yeah, okay. Alright, so in order, let's go talk to Sam. The elevator up to the bar is just like right here, so... I guess maybe this is why we had that note in our thing about Lydia and Sam going to the beach and talking and stuff. It's not because there was anything to find at the beach or at the farm, but rather because there was plot information that is available to us that we didn't have, and we're going to close it out by doing this. We're just going to go ahead and... I should have just done this in the first place, but I thought, you know what, we can get up to the bar without spending a blood crystal. But, like, first of all... no, I can't. And secondly, obviously, what do we need 28 blood crystals for at this point? I think there's like a real good chance that we're about to go and do the trial and finish the game. Presuming, of course, that does finish the game. Alright, well, we should hang out with Sam, even though there's not going to be anything of value in this information.
I'm glad to be back.
He's going to tell us a lot of stuff about alcohol. The ice ball you had last time allowed you to savor it for longer, but it was chilled. The colder the drink, the less you can taste it. I hope you'll enjoy the pure taste of this
Glad to
blend.
be back.
If he gets that I'm onto them, he could just poison me here. I should really not be drinking anything he hands me. What are you blending on this island? Night Alone and the Vortex blend. Maybe you can try it next time. Oh, no single malts? Blended whiskey requires a fusion of single malts, but on this island I have focused on serving blended instead of single malts, for some reason. It is important to practice all areas of your repertoire, isn't it? I guess so? What's Lydia drinking these days? Oh, she enjoys a drink while she paints. She chooses something appropriate to her piece. She enjoys all of the different ways of serving. A lot like... okay, some things being implied here. Yeah, there's something to be enjoyed in everything. What about the next island? It is important to breathe the new island in. Learn about it. Learn about it, a crafty drink that can only be born on that island. The islands give the drinks so much character, don't they? Well, if we make it to the next island. And by we, I mean you.
I am under suspicion, LT.
Okay, so he does have another thing.
Got it.
You got something you want to tell the investigator?
Suspicion, LT.
I'm sorry. I wasn't truthful. I was holding... It's not my god flesh, I swear. I'm just holding it for a friend. That isn't original, Sammy. Why do you have god flesh, which I've decided this time must be capitalized? I was asked to store it for someone. It was Witness. And why did Witness ask you to store that flesh? He came to me and said he needed it to be stored, but he didn't tell me anything else. And you just accepted that without question. Ooh, I didn't know what it was, did I? He just gave me a box and said it needs to be kept a secret. For the good of the Syndicate, wasn't it?
Me.
But didn't it strike you as suspicious? Like, yeah, what is the reason that he thinks that storing a box in a fridge would be good for the Syndicate? Witness is an old friend. You'd do anything for old friends, wouldn't you?
And the truth
Boy, I
are
bet
not
he's
the
hoping that's
same.
true. This is, to put it lightly, suspicious as hell, Sammy. Well, it's the truth, isn't it? I have no idea. By which I mean no, it's obviously not. Lydia told me about you guys wanting to leave the
I
Syndicate.
am under suspicion, Aldi.
She told you that. Can't break the bond of friendship, can you? Again, he is desperately hoping this is true. So is there anything you want to tell me? We're old friends, after all, Sammy. Can you tell we're ready to move on? There's more world out there, isn't there? More to see and more to learn. You mean more whiskey ingredients. You're right, LD. I literally cannot think of anything
I have
else.
a bad feeling about this.
So how come you lied to me earlier so many times? It paints us in a bad light. We're not council killers. We just want to explore the world. You understand, right? You know, this doesn't look good, Sam. So, like... Is that gonna resolve that note in our thing, though? It must not, right? Maybe I did still miss something? I feel like I was pretty thorough over there, though. Because I was so suspicious. Because of this note. And then we still need to figure out why this... Like, this... So Lydia uses the helmet that we found to get out. But how did she get it in the first place? To get into the seal. And then the other helmet we found is obviously... words. What's his name? With the abs. Not Doomjazz, the other guy with the abs. You know what Yuri. Like, the other helmet must be Yuri's? Cause... Or I guess it could be Carmelina's? Maybe Yuri wasn't even present? But Yuri figured out how to bypass the locks. The pedals could totally be planted evidence, though. Maybe Carmelina gets some pedals. She goes in there with... what's-his-face? With Denonigate, and then they do the thing, stuff goes sideways, she flees with that helmet and throws it off in a panic after she gets back outside. No, but he said, Denonigate said that the tunnel lady and the man came to take him to the thing, right? There should be more helmets. There aren't enough helmets to account for all of the travelers through the second seal. That's very weird. Alright, well, we can talk to Witness, but I don't know what that could possibly accomplish. And then... I guess I am, in fact, going to go back to the farm and search again? I mean, listen, it's not impossible that I just missed a thing over and over and over again. That could totally happen, and in fact, has happened in the past. Let's go press on Witness. I'm not expecting to get a lot of value out of here. We'll tell him that Sam gave him up, and he'll say, no, Sam's lying. It's Sam's godflesh, I swear. And then we'll threaten to make him smoke the whole god, and then... Say, why did you give Sam a piece of godflesh to hide? A piece of godflesh to hide. You know what I mean. What did he tell you? You first. I needed somewhere to store the flesh. I'm worried that there are people in the Syndicate that would sabotage my research. Who? I have nothing
The
concrete.
investigator is here.
And also why? That awful nickname, Perfect 25. The desire for perfection now. They don't want someone proving the Council wrong. So you didn't use it with Sam to breach the Fourth Holy Seal. This is the first I've heard of it being used with the Fourth Seal. Yeah, we'll see about that. No, I mean, we won't see about that. There's no evidence to be gathered on that front, I don't think. But still, I'm gonna send you to Syndicate jail? I'm not 100% clear on what the plan is. Once we have proven to our satisfaction that these people have done the thing, is that what the gun is for? Is that how we're going to resolve this? Alright, where actually is that heart? Where's that one missing heart? This would probably be easier to do if I weren't high up. Okay, it's all the way over there. Well, I mean, let's go find it. I don't want to use the fast travel because I don't actually know where we're going. How did I end up further back than where I jumped? I'll tell you, the momentum system in this game. Wait, wasn't it in this direction? Oh, okay. So yeah, there totally are things respawning, right? There weren't 4 Bloodstones up before, and I 100% for certain did go get that. In loving memory of Tamago, the best Hamo and my friend. Aw. Poor little Tamago. So yeah, maybe it is in fact the case that the Bloodstones are respawning, just like I thought, and I doubted myself, for no reason. Right, because it's this, and now there's 3 things over there. Maybe stuff respawns whenever you get far enough away from it? Because, like, obviously, it would be best if players couldn't get Bloodstone locked, but also, once you're, and I definitely got that Bloodstone as well. Once you have all of the necessary upgrades and you've, like, done all the footbaths and everything, they could just stop spawning them and make it so that if you spend all of your Bloodstones, you are on slow travel for the rest of the game, and it wouldn't really be, like, devastating, right? Alright, well then we're not going to spend too much effort chasing that down because it's probably just a Bloodstone. Oh, this is the wrong beach. I was like, and here we are on the beach, already in the place we need to be, but this is not it. Alright, where was that heart? Just out of curiosity, since we're coming up here anyway, we're going to be right near where it was. Although, not quite as near as I thought. Nope, that's a Shinji. Maybe some Shinjis don't... Oh, come on. Very annoying. Maybe some Shinjis don't spawn until you have certain pieces of information. Because there definitely wasn't a Shinji up here before. I feel 100% certain of that. Well, I guess we ought to go talk to the little miscreant if I can not slide down a thing that should be pathable for absolutely no reason. Love dice. Come on. There we go. They really did, like, choose to have the movement work in just an incredibly annoying way for no reason at all. Alright, hey Shinji, how you doing, my friend? I think the moon is the most beautiful thing on this island.
Sure.
It's not on the island, it's... Just cool it, Love Dies. You don't have to be like this, you know what I mean. Do you like the moon? Well, it used to be nice. It used to be.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Well, the Golden City on the dark side is deserted now. The god lost pain, fled to the moon, and took over the city. He's leeching power from the moon to regain his strength. Why are you such a downer? I wasn't asking you to tell me everything that's bad with it. I was just making small talk. The moon is beautiful and it's massive in the sky of this island. Why can't you just say, yes, Shinji, I agree, it is beautiful, and we have a nice conversation? You know, he's 100% right. That's my bad. That's on me. Okay, so that's where the farm is, and the beach that we have to care about. I mean, I would have thought... that's just the bloodstone we just saw. Now that there's Shinjis appearing all over the place, it does make me want to actually track down all these hearts, in case there's more conversation. As much as I like to make fun of Shinji and talk about what an obvious scumbag he is, I do actually like talking to Shinji. I like his conversations. Alright. Let's have one more look around here before I give up on this note not being resolvable. So, they're talking specifically about the beach near the farm. Right? It says, meeting in secret at the farm. Why? Maybe they're enjoying... I guess maybe that's not actually indicating the beach. But I feel like I've scoured this place very thoroughly. Maybe it would be easier if I got up high and looked down? I mean, there's no hearts here, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I guess there's some beach over there. Have I checked that? I think I have. Because we could probably make it from here over to there, right? Oh, almost. Okay, close enough. Well, I will say this. I don't think we actually did run all the way around the factory. Maybe there will be something interesting up here. Okay, I think that's invisible walled off, but it's kind of hard to tell, given, again, the way that momentum works in this game. It's possible that I just clipped the edge of the thing trying to jump in there. Okay, well this seems like a dead end. Maybe not. Maybe, in fact, it is a live corner. What's the opposite of an end? It is a live way. Sure doesn't look like there's anything going on out here, though. I'll say this. They've done a great job of making this building, like, very intimidating. Yep, okay. So yeah, there's nothing in any of these little alcoves. What is that? That is a something. And it's a something that doesn't show up in meditation view, which means it might be an important something. How am I planning to get back? Okay, I don't know for sure that we're even going to be able to make it up there from here. Well, listen, if I end up falling in the water and I have to be fished out, I guess that's fine. Okay, let's go figure out what that thing is. Damn it. Damn it, Love Dies. Just once. Just once I would like to feel like we are on the same team. Every once in a while, you play a game where the character has sort of like an adversarial relationship with the actual player, and that's like really fun and interesting. But most of the time, it's just a real bummer. It's just a real nightmare when that is occurring. So where exactly was that? I guess it's over here. Okay. Aha. What are we? We are something that's so foul it has to be pixelated. Some kind of message in a bottle. Let's see.
The investigator is here.
These seem to be lyrics. Okay, this does not sound relevant to the case. The theme of the song appears to be doing anything you can to leave your home and get away. Breaking the cycle, finding something new, going on a shopping spree, and never coming back. Signed by The Daybreaks. Lydia and Sammy sound like they're unhappy here. Maybe they were looking for a way out of the syndicate, and then they wrote that information down and put it in a bottle so that people could find it. And they fucking signed it. Why would they do that? What? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, well... Motive. Lyrics. Listen, their band's never gonna work out and we all know it, so they need something else to fall back on. Is that an uninteracted nightmare computer? Okay, no, I've already cracked this. Oh, this is the tunnel. Yeah. Right, this whole thing. We have actually never interacted with that nightmare computer, but we did interact with the nightmare computer on the other side of the door. Okay, so... I am allowed to question Lydia about the lyrics, although I don't know that I think it's going to be valuable. We should definitely do it. If anybody was going to just, like, break under the pressure of questioning, I feel like I should be allowed to just ask her here. But yeah, if anybody were gonna just break under the pressure of questioning, I would think it would be her due to her, you know, the bond that we supposedly share. I will say that that close bond of friendship has not been terribly helpful so far. I mean, just another hangout. I suppose we ought to do it. Maybe she'll give us another piece of information.
Let's go for a drive, LD.
Say, what's good to eat on this island? I've been saying say to open every sentence, and don't think I haven't noticed. The Deep Factory nailed the meat this time. The synthetic meat, that is. Notice how there's now livestock on the island? The Deep Factory got expanded. All the meat is made from a culture of bugs. There are huge caverns full of bug breeding and meat growing operations. I'm fine with not having found that. Does it taste good? Yeah, real good. Yuri always claims it doesn't taste like the real thing, but he's just that type. Yeah, he is. He's the pickup I dread each time. The amount of bullshit that comes out of his mouth is out of control. He thinks he's a wine connoisseur. Dude, you live on a synthetic island where the grapes are grown underground in a lab. This isn't high-end stuff. He tried to tell Sammy all about whiskey one time. Sammy renounced violence, but I thought Yuri was about to get an ice pick in the eye. Sorry, LD. Didn't mean to go off. He just drives me crazy. And listen, you vent all you want. He's new to me. I'll trust you on this. Also, I already hate him. I could totally get why somebody would be annoyed by Yuri. That's maybe the least suspicious thing that's happened while we were out here. You've been writing lyrics, Lydia?
What are you talking about, LD?
What do you mean, LD?
Investigator is here.
I found these lyrics in a bottle, and for some reason you signed them because you're not very smart. No, no way. That's embarrassing. I should have known the tide round this island was junk. I assume they have some meaning. Never ask a songwriter about their lyrics, LD. If you can't intuit the meaning, you weren't meant to know. And also, it's not even poetic or metaphorical or anything. It's just an outright statement of how I feel. Okay, well that wasn't anything, but I'm not, like, shocked by that. Out of curiosity, did that open? It did not open up a thing with Sam. Alright, well let's go... Let's go bother Carmelina, and then... I don't know. It might be time. It might be time to go do the thing. It might be time to call the trial. Carmelina is Syndicate HQ. Where did this... There we go. Here we are, I think at the end, and I'm just now getting to know the island. I think we were at max with her already, right? We were not. Can I ask you something, Architect?
Is its own reward.
I want to give you something, Investigator. Oh. An eye? It's the eye of a worshipper of Blood Dancer. It's been preserved and reformatted into a storage device. Sure, just reformat an eye, why
We have
not?
achieved perfection.
The chronicles of Blood Dancer have been imprinted into it. By examining the crevices of the eye, you may learn about the god.
This a fact?
Blood Dancer caused multiple planet-wide genocides as he perfected his insane technology.
Dare you?
Oh, there are always sacrifices for progress, investigator. What a thing to say, here in this moment. I don't know if that's true, architect. It depends on your priorities, investigator. A life lived purely for others denies your true self. A life lived in balance sees a glimpse of potential. Huh. A lack of balance hurts others and denies you of valuable experiences.
This is nonsense.
That depends on your definition of valuable.
Craft is its own reward.
Please, go and enjoy the island. Get out of here, please.
Relic obtained.
That's a weird thing for her to give me. And I do not want it. Okay, now we're at max level with her. Architect, when did your marriage with Witness end again? Why are you asking? I'm just working on something, you know, my job and everything. I assume you'll cooperate. About 9 years ago.
The investigator
And
is here.
you wore a wedding ring. Of course. What is this about? No, thank you for your help. See, we kind of pulled a Columbo on her there. Alright, well... That pretty much closes up the Grace Bloodlines thing, and the way in which it closes up the Grace Bloodline thing makes it clear that that's not a different conspiracy from this stuff, right? That connects everything. So that's good information. That was really helpful. So at this point, I think maybe it's time to go to Judge. We have this one note. I don't really know what to do about it. It would definitely be best if we could... Yeah, it would definitely be best if we could figure out, like, some hard evidence about that. But how are we going to do that, right? Like... Hold on, let me run over here. So Shinji found the thing near a planter, right? We didn't actually see it personally. Which means we have no way of, like, re-investigating the site where it was found for further evidence. I guess he said it was near a planter. Like, we could, I suppose, look around this room a little bit more thoroughly. Although I feel like I was fairly thorough in here before. Maybe not. I mean, clearly not, right? Because I've not been very thorough anywhere. Just making sure there's not, like, a purple smudge for us to see anywhere here. I mean, obviously we have this thing, but I wonder if it's in one of the places up off the ground, maybe? I mean, were there to be a piece of evidence here, that would be a pretty good place to hide it. We're not allowed to even try to figure out what this door does, which seems very strange, considering that it's behind one of the seals and everything. Aha! This is where Shinji said he found the space
The
helmet.
investigator is here.
Pink petals. And there aren't any flowers here, so where did they come from? Gee, I wonder. Okay, so that's something. That is, in fact, not nothing. So is that going to give me a question to ask Yuri, or should I just... Okay, well, I mean, sure, I guess let's go do it, even though we know it's not going to come to anything. So we presume that's Yuri's helmet. Wait, where's Yuri? Oh, the platform he's on is over there. It would probably be best if we didn't fall down yet, then. Is this close enough? This is definitely not. So that links Yuri to the space helmet. It's still, like... I think it's still a big problem that we have no idea how anyone would have gotten any of these space helmets. Like, to use them from outside going in.
Yuri Knight.
I wonder if that's going to be a real problem for us. Have you ever worn a space helmet, Yuri? Why would I wear a space helmet? He'd have to take off his very nice hat. Well, to get through the second seal. I've never been through it, freak.
When love dies.
A space helmet was discovered, and it was surrounded by pink petals that look like they came from your hat. That is the most tenuous thing I've ever heard, freak. You're grasping at straws. He's not wrong. That's very tenuous. does basically nothing. I came to him with basically nothing. And that does clear all of our investigation notes. Like, I think we might have all of the information that there is to have at this point. And I mean, we basically know what happened, but like, I am not clear on what the standard of proof is here, because we can't prove almost any of this. Yeah, that does have me a little concerned, but I think we might legitimately just be out of stuff to do. There's going to be some hearts. Or perhaps there are not. There's one. And there's one way over there. Yeah, and if we go find those, they're almost certainly going to be bloodstones. Alright. I think that we are definitely out of time for today, unfortunately. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, tomorrow, I think it's just time for the trial. I'll go get those. I'll go check those hearts out before starting the next recording. And if they don't turn out to be anything significant, I think we're just going to trial. And hopefully that will go okay. I'm actually real nervous about it, again, because we can't prove anything at all. And we'll see you then.